Sawasdee Krap. Good afternoon to all of you. Welcome and thanks to all of you for joining us today. All the government agencies, institutional investors, board of directors, civil society organizations, academics, and DTech employees. This is our first time that we are initiating a dialogue with all of you on the trends that will shape our industry and our organization. And we believe that these trends point to sustainability as an answer to the challenge Thailand faces today, particularly challenge to be more resilient. Personally, I find human resilience truly inspiring, and mobile connectivity that has really helped people to get back on their feet. If you all recall, when we had a first lockdown in 2020, we saw the apps our customer use grew from 8x to 50x times. And the main contribution came from video conferencing or work in cloud. In 2020, we have seen overall data traffic grew by 2x. And as some of you know, that we are, together with the government of Thailand, providing DTech services in field hospitals, and we see the same trend emerging now, where the data usage in the field hospitals is also growing by 2x times. Neither you nor us would have imagined that DTech's 95%, yes, 95% of employees will work from home during these pandemic times. And it happened where even productivity did not get compromised. They were more productive, if not less, than before. So what we are saying that people as individuals are flexible, but may not be businesses. Quick to adopt, but what will happen if the businesses are not as flexible as individuals as we move in the new era, which is post-pandemic? How can businesses be faster to change, less easily disrupted, and built on sustainable models that benefit all stakeholders at large? What we are seeing, we are observing emergence of mega trends, and we are going to touch upon 3 key mega trends which we see are emerging here. And let me remind you, it is all going to be about scale and efficiency post-pandemic times. It is about economics of scale. It is about depth of expertise that will define how quickly we adopt and accelerate and participate in the growth journey which is going to come post-pandemic times. If we draw some of the reflections, what we see in the communication and telecom industry in Thailand and some of the areas, as you have seen and you noticed that Thailand's Gulf Energy has shown interest entering telecom sector. Go to the neighboring country, Malaysia, where Celcom and Digi proposing to merge to become the #1 telecom operator of Malaysia. It's all about scale. Recently, we also learned that Singapore's Grab is going for an IPO. And all these items I talked about, they are worth $9 to $10 billion US. And they are going to have a ripple effect and also participating in the Southeast Asian economy and the way to do business in this area. I'm fairly certain that they will definitely have a good impact in the region as we see emergence post-pandemic scenario. Needless to mention, it is all speeding up. Many businesses during pandemic times, and I'm sure you would know and you would agree with me, have gone through cash challenges, debts piling up, and so on. There is a greater need to recapitalize large number of companies in the next 12 months. And what we have seen in DTech, and I'm confident in other businesses, there is a dire need of investment and making your digital channels more robust, more customer friendly as customer behavior is changing. And that customer behavior which is changing is here to stay. So there will be pressure on investment on digital transformation. So we all businesses need to balance both the sides. Thus, thinking big and taking the long-term view will be a very clear factor in business resilience. There will be new operating models emerging. There will be M&A, merger acquisitions taking place. Some of them I talked about. And as we speak, a lot of this is already starting to trigger in the region and around the globe. At DTech, we have major shareholder, Telenor Group, and their expertise being a part of worldwide scale. Telenor is also leading the European Union 5G for Innovation Forum. And also, we get a lot of experience sharing from those participation. You also know that Telenor Group, our major shareholder, also has large presence in Asia, and we cater to overall 170 plus million subscribers. DTech is also working closely with Telenor Connection. In Norway, it is part of, again, Telenor Group, where we have a lot of learnings so that we can thrive on developing newer partnership in Thailand in the IoT and 5G area. And as we speak, some of them we are already working on. And this Telenor Connection having presence in 190 countries. And their experience is quite solid. And that's what we are witnessing when we partner with Telenor Connection to work with some of the partnership here in Thailand. We see true benefits coming in. And these partnerships, which pilots are happening, will come up and deliver some solid commercial use cases. The second mega trend in business resilience is the threat of a widening digital divide. The gap which we see is also visible. Internet is critical for health, education, and for work. How do we close the gap? We have witnessed in 2020 and 2021 emergence of digital channels, the change of consumer behavior, and how fast people are getting engaged and also wanting to do many things online. DTech digital ecosystem designed to close this gap with prepaid and rural. And in 1 year time, what we have seen, we have grown in prepaid and in rural areas more than 2x. This also confirms our understanding that now there is divide which is now bridging with the emergence of newer subscriptions, and also DTech is more going out to the rural areas, also enhancing indoor coverage through our 700 megahertz band. For some of you who are not aware of, familiar with this, 700 megahertz, which we secured in December last year, it helps us enhancing speed as well as greater indoor coverage. And the main objective is that we really want to see that everyone is connected with high speed for all mission. No one is left behind. And we have a mission to bridge the divide between the people who are not connected and the people who are connected. And we are seeing greater progress in that area. At the same time, we have a greater focus and initiatives on safety and security of the people who use internet, especially for younger generation. We have safe internet camps for children. And very recently, we initiated a campaign or a program, Net for Living. Net for Living for small entrepreneurs and merchants. What it means is very simple. The small young entrepreneurs or small old entrepreneurs who have been physical, not able to connect with the mainstream, DTech is helping them to connect with the mainstream through digital expertise, so they are also able to earn their share. And we are seeing very good progress in that area. Finally, DTech Business SME for small, medium enterprises as well as for B2B. I think what we are doing, we are following a very, very simple approach. To to provide flexibility in terms of offers they can choose, make DTAC channels quite easy to avail and operate, and secure solutions at a monthly rate which SMEs can afford. This newer technique, which we started based on our learnings from market, from our partners, from our customers, is helping DTAC to also move forward and create a bigger pie so that we can really fulfill the wishes of small businesses which impacted most during pandemic, and we really want to help them to secure and come back as we recover from pandemic. The third mega trend in business resilience is climate change, impact on supply chain. High risk of climate disaster is here. And if you're wondering, the next disaster in Thailand is going to be epidemic? No. It is going to be something linked to climate. And Thailand ranked 9th in the long-term global climate risk index 2021. And still the memories are quite fresh of 2011, when floods hit Thailand, led to global shortage of hard drives for many months. DTAC sees issues from two sides. Number one, mobile operator as a critical service. We can continue operating during a disaster even without having DTAC offices or the places to sit, because we have learned to work from home. I just gave an example of 95% people work from home, and we are still productive, able to serve our customers. And it's very simple, is that we are making digital channels available to our employees so they can operate from any geolocation, remote work, and channel adoption also quite fast, both for our customers as well as for our employees who serve and help our customers. Second, long-term climate responsibility. DTAC has committed to cutting its greenhouse gas emission by half by 2023. And that is a greater commitment. And we are progressing quite well, and we are committed to do this by 2030. Greenhouse gas emission by half. If you move on further, the initiatives I shared today are all built on responsible business as a foundation for resilience, compliance, data privacy, supply chain sustainability, digital upskilling, climate change, human rights, the health and safety of our workers into one single platform. And this is an approach which is really helping DTAC to move forward in the journey. And this is built for all our stakeholders. Being a good corporate citizen underpins DTAC's very right to operate, but it also underpins our purpose to advance society. Fighting corruption, upskilling our customers, or auditing working conditions at our suppliers is therefore the right thing to do, from both the business as well as ethics perspective. This is why we have gathered you here today to make Thailand more sustainable and resilient. Would like to thank you for your support on DTAC's effort and acknowledgement. Today's session is quite interesting. We have, of course, speakers, and then we have a panel discussion. I hope you will get best out of it, and then we keep it more like this and learn and make it more better in years to come. Thank you very much. Khap khun krap.